So you want to learn French, you want to know enough beginner level French grammar and vocabulary in order to put together French phrases and understand basic French conversations like asking for directions or telling the time or ordering lunch at the cafe. So my first question that I always ask students is, why do you want to learn French? You could have many reasons for wanting to learn the language. Here are some reasons I hear from students. I love French, it's my favorite language, it's a beautiful language and I want to speak it to get along with locals. Or maybe I'm going to France very soon to visit, or maybe to study or to live, and you want to be comfortable and speak with the locals. Students always also tell me, I want to connect with my French friends or in-laws or the family of my French husband or wife, because the language is what is going to get us more together. Some students also tell me, and that might be your case, I want to connect with my heritage. My grand-mère, my grandmother, is from Normandy, and I've always wanted to learn her language. But French is a difficult language. You have pronunciation, you have understanding of spoken French, which is very fast. You have grammar, you have local accents in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west as well. You have the conjugation that can be tricky. Also, students want to learn the modern French. They don't know what is the modern French, how people speak in real life in France. And at last, it's hard because maybe you don't have the confidence to speak and you fear you're making a lot of mistakes when you are just even trying to speak French. Also, it's hard to know where to start, and this applies to all the languages. It's not just French. It's hard to know what to pick. There's so many options out there. It's hard to know what is good and what is up to date, because some are very outdated and some are just wrong. Maybe you want to start with Duolingo or Rosetta Stone, the super famous programs. Or maybe you want to pick a children's book at the local library that is French and that you might be able to learn from. It's hard to find a modern, fun way to learn French as a beginner, something that is going to take you 10 to 20 minutes per day and fit in your busy schedule, and be something that is modern and that you will remember in the future. If you're watching this video, you've been following my weekly lessons on communefrancaise.com for a while, and you know my teaching style. Maybe so far you were not able to understand all the topics that I covered there because it was a bit too advanced for you, but at least you know how I teach, and you know that I'm going to teach you the real French that we speak in France. And now I am so excited to announce that I'm launching a new program, French for Beginners by Géraldine. I am so happy. It's been a request from students for years. And it's my only program that is for beginners. And I mean even complete beginners. That means that if you don't know anything about French, the alphabet, the pronunciation, even how to say hello, which is bonjour, you will get everything from this program. And also if you've been learning some French at school some years ago and forgot everything, you're going to enjoy this course as well because we cover all the basics and where you can build on top of that very easily. Through the 6 years that I've been teaching at Commune Française, I've had over 3,000 students from all over the world, and they achieved their French learning goals through my premium programs. We go into detail in lessons that I could not do on YouTube because you need written content, you need PDFs, you need worksheets, you need quizzes, and this is only available in something that is structured. So that's why I have my premium programs. And French for Beginners by Géraldine is my newest program. So tell me, you want to be able to speak French in everyday situations, like compliment a friend in French, ask for directions, order food, ask a question, agree, maybe disagree, and have a friendly chat? Do you also want to be able to understand what's happening and what is said most of the time, even if you don't understand all the words? You understand the context, what's happening around you, so you can have a chit chat. And maybe you want to be able to feel like you fit in French culture. Not everything, but just a little bit more and less like a tourist, because you can express what you need and ask basic questions in French. All you need for that are the basics. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be bilingual or have a C1, C2, even a B2 level if you know the levels of learning languages in Europe. I'm already talking about the basics, and this is exactly what I'm teaching in this program. My lessons are structured in a way that is fun, engaging, and valuable. These are the components of a lesson. First, you have learning goals, so you know where you're going in this lesson and what you will be able to achieve, so you keep that in mind. Then you have the main lesson, which is the mix of video and written content for you. And I made bite-sized video, very short and to the point, so you can go through them several times without spending 2 hours. Lots of them are 5 minutes long, 2, maximum 7, but mostly 3, so you can go through them again and again, and you have several of those, so you can have very detailed and to the point knowledge. That's the main lesson. And then if you want, I made bonus content for you depending on your learning style, your time, your motivation. So you have worksheets, so you can print them, take notes, do the exercises. You have a quiz to test your knowledge in this lesson. You have a printable phrase list, so you have all the vocabulary that you learned and you can go in the metro and review them. You have a PDF of the full written lesson because if you like me, you like to read, you also want to go through the details, take notes on the side, and this covers everything we went through together in the videos, but in a written form. And at last, I give you extra resources because now that you have the basics, you can enjoy more of French culture and have access to other lessons that you could not grasp before. The 10 lessons are all you need. You don't need much more in order to have the basics of French. The first lesson is phrases to use immediately. We go through a basic conversation you can have in French right away, and I show you the correct pronunciation. Lesson number 2 is how to gain confidence when you speak French, because I know how French can be overwhelming because it's just too much. So I show you how to make French sounds and not be embarrassed because we're going to practice together. The third lesson is about the French basics. So we go through the most important words, how to make phrases, and how to introduce yourself properly in French. The fourth lesson is talking to people because chit-chat is fundamental. You're going to learn how to ask questions, how to talk about yourself, who you are, what you have, what you like, what you want. All this in French, even as a beginner, but with confidence. The fifth lesson is about talking about things. So here, we go a little bit deeper on grammar because we have to cover a little bit of it, and we go through plurals and masculine and feminine, which can be very scary. I give you all my tips about these, especially the masculine and feminine, what things are important to focus on when you're just a beginner, because French can be very overwhelming. The sixth lesson is counting in French. We're not going to go through 1,000, we're going to go from 1 to 10, and then I'm going to give you extra tips on how to go beyond that. But as soon as you know numbers, which are essential, you can tell the time in French, and you can build sentences using these numerical expressions, and that's about everyday life. You use numbers every day in your life. The seventh lesson is talking to a group. So this way we go through conjugation for nous, vous, and il, which are we, you in plural, and them. It's essential when you're talking about someone or something in French. It's not difficult, nothing to worry about. But we go through conjugation step by step in this program, and this is the important step of nous, vous, and il. And we go through possessive pronouns as well, so you can talk about your things. The 8th lesson is saying no. So how to build negative sentences, what you like, what you don't like, and we go through 2 more verbs, which are aller, to go, and vouloir, to want. They're pretty useful. The 9th lesson is useful sentences, and we go through positive phrases and how to talk to shopkeepers, which is very often one of the main interactions you have when you're using your French in a Francophone country. And the 10th lesson is important for me. It's looking forward. So testing what you learned and how to retaining. Because it's so heartbreaking when students go through a program of French or music or tennis or whatever, and they forget everything as soon as it's over. So here we're going to see how to get everything in your head and keep it there. It sounds like a lot right now, maybe, because we went through the 10 lessons, but it's not. And you might be feeling overwhelmed and wanting to tell me, Géraldine, I can't learn all that. I thought this was a beginner's program, but I promise you, as a beginner, this is all the stuff you need to learn. Yes, and you can learn it even if you're a complete beginner, because we go from the scratch and I tell you everything you need to know and understand to get the basics of my language and start speaking right away. After 3 days, even if you're a complete beginner, you will be able to say, I can already put together a couple of really basic French sentences. Yes, immediately after 3 days, or maybe today if you start right away. You can also say, I can greet people and ask them how they are and I know how to speak properly by making the right sounds for correct French pronunciation. So you will have the basics and solid basics. And this is something I will be very proud of when you actually come back to me and say, oh my God, I can actually speak French. Yes, you can. It doesn't have to be difficult. And you don't need to wait 2 years, 1 year, even a month to start speaking. You will speak right away and well. And if you continue, you will be able to say, I know how to wish someone good morning, introduce myself properly, and ask French people some questions about themselves and their lives. Because chit-chat is essential in French. And you can do all that with the correct French pronunciation. Even if your grammar is not perfect, you will be able to express yourself with confidence and the right pronunciation in French. And have fun. And then before you even know it, you will be able to tell everyone you can speak French. Yes, I will be very proud of that. You will practice on a more regular basis because you will be able to look for chances to learn more and keep learning more. You can, because you have the basics of French, you can spot a new word in a movie. You can understand a new concept because you didn't have the basics before. And this is very important because once you know everything that's as a foundation, you can start learning on top of that. And you will be looking forward to opportunity to use your French, especially diving deeper into the French culture that you love so much. If you're passionate about French movies or French castles or Paris, you will be able to go deeper than just reading something in English because you will be able to read, understand, and speak French. Most of all, you will be feeling confident because this is what is missing so much from students, especially at the beginner level. Are you going to still be making mistakes? Yes. Even non-beginners make mistakes, even fluent people make mistakes, and even French people make mistakes in French. And you will be able to do the things you want to do right now. So maybe it's connecting with your family, living in a French-speaking country, and exchange more than smiles on Skype. Because language is essential. You will be able to integrate and make friends if you're living in France, and not just stay surrounded by expats. You will be able to get along when you visit France because you have the confidence and the knowledge to speak French, even at the beginner level. You're confident and your French is good. And if it's just for fun, you will feel like you have a new hobby that exposes you to new and exciting things. It can be new people, new ideas, and a greater appreciation for French culture, but something that keeps your brain working and is very exciting. French for Beginners is offered at $99, that's US dollars. And this comes with lifetime access. There's no hurry to the course today or tomorrow or in a month. I hate that. So I give lifetime access to students because we're all busy and this course is made to fit your busy schedule. And we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't suit your teaching, your learning style, or you don't like it, or you don't learn anything from it, just email me and you will get a refund of 100%. no questions asked. Well, let me know why, because I'm curious, but you don't have to. And this is for $99. You have unlimited access, lifetime access to the 10 lessons, plus all the extra resources. We also give free updates if we do updates. And you have the 60-day money-back guarantee. So there is no risk into joining this course. And finally, starting to speak French. For the upcoming 48 hours, that's just the beginning of the opening. We're offering a 10% discount, so you can get the course at $89. I look forward to seeing you in class because you've probably been wanting to learn French for a long time, and this is a fantastic chance to finally do it and try learning French with me. So I look forward to seeing you in the students list. You can ask me any questions in the course or even before if you're not sure. Just join now by clicking on the button below the video. It's a risk-free experience, and I will see you there. And I'm so looking forward to hearing from you and hearing the wonders you make in French, because I have no doubt you will speak French wonderfully. Allez, see you soon. À tout de suite.